Hey guys, it's Hoofbeats and Heartbeats again. Again today, obviously. But this one's going to be more about, instead of doing my tack haul video, I decided to do more of a comparison video that a lot of people are confused on. I know there's a lot of videos out there about Hackamores, Bosals, or Bosals, however you like, depends on where you're from, and bits, like the difference, variations, and softness and whatnot. The big thing that everybody needs to know, in my opinion, is the product is only as soft as the rider is. So if there's a rider with really hard hands, all of those products could be used, like every product can be used incorrectly. And a lot of people are confused on the comparison between, like the difference between Bosals and Hackamores. And Hackamores are more like mechanical, and they're for like, since they have like the shanks on the side of them, like I use one for my barrel horse. I'm using one right now for my barrel horse to soften her up a little bit. And that's just because I have softer hands, so I can use stuff like that to soften them up. But like Hackamores, typically, at least the two Hackamores that I have, are actually a metal nose piece, and they have like this rubber around it, wrapped around the nose piece, so it's not going to rub on your horse. And like I have one, the Hackamore that I'm using on my barrel horse is very flexy, is a very flexy nose piece, so it's pretty soft, and they have shanks down on the side, so it's a lot of leverage, like lifting up instead of out. And it has a curb chain too, so when you pull back it puts the, does what a curb chain is supposed to do. And when Bosals are the type of bridles that you see a lot of younger horses ridden in, like the 2-year-olds. They like horses that have not been bit broke yet and are normally showing in Bosals, are supposed to be showing in Bosals if they're Western. And like if you go look up AQHA World Western Pleasure 2-year-olds or whatever, junior classes, you'll see a lot of them. They're just like normally rawhide noseband that goes all the way around and hooks at the bottom, and it's like it's just like a knot at the bottom, like underneath their chin, and it has 2 rope reins that the rider holds onto and another one that hooks onto the horn. And a lot of people say that that is a lot harsher than a Hackamore, and again, in my opinion, it really depends on the rider's skill level and softness. And like it's mostly, I feel like the confusion is not confusion, but like the thing is that Bosals, since they are rawhide, they do have a harder noseband than most Hackamores have. But I mean, there are Hackamores with harsh nosebands as well, so it kind of like evens itself out, in my opinion. And then it's all about softness and bits. As everybody knows, there are all kinds of bits. And I washed all my tack last night, like I said in the other video. Washed it, cleaned it, whatever. And I already took all my English stuff back, so I still have some of my Western stuff here, and I'm going to show you. This is a D-ring snaffle. So that's just a snaffle. This is probably one of the softer bits out there. I don't want to say the softest because a lot of people have different opinions, but in my opinion, this is the softest bit. I mean, there are some that are for younger horses that are even thicker than this. And the thicker the bit is around, like depth, the softer it is. And the thinner it is, the more harsh it is, because the horse can feel it more in their mouth. And like there's twisted snaffles, like you step up with snaffles. And this is what I started blinging. This was her first bit, and she has the same bit on her English bridle as on her Western one. Like this is her Western one, but I don't ride her 2-hand anymore. I graduated her to a a lot of people aren't gonna agree with this, but I did start her in a Tom Thumb, which is just like a snaffle, except instead of having the rings, it has shanks and a curb chain thing. So it is a little bit harsher and has more leverage, but I just got, sorry, the bridle's still on this, so it's going to look funny. But I just got this bit a while ago that she really likes, and it's a correction bit. And a lot of people disagree with correction bits because of the ports and the longer shanks. But the port is all about like getting like it leverage on the top of the mouth, on like it touches the top of their mouth when you pull on the reins, and it gets them to break at the pole a lot. So this is Bling's Western bit, and like this bit is actually softer because it has this loop in it, so it's one of the softer type of correction bits. And again, the longer the shanks, the longer and straighter the shanks, the harsher it is, and the higher the port, obviously. This is actually a pretty high port, but my trainer got me this bit, so trainer has the top word, right? And again, I have pretty soft hands. I tend to leave my horse's mouth alone a lot, like I said in the last video. My horse doesn't like it when I mess with her mouth anyway, so I typically have a little bit more bit for her, just because if I ever do have to touch the reins, it's usually, like, it's not hard. Like, she has pretty loose reins most of the time. And again, I, like, just ordered a different snaffle than that one. It's an O-ring, just for personal preference, that I'm going to start riding her in Western again. Just for work, because, you know, with draw reins and stuff. Because you don't want to use, like, draw reins and stuff with this kind of bit, because it's dangerous and it can hurt them. But yes, that was that. And and then there's a whole bunch of different types of bridles that people get confused with as well. Like there's I'm not sure what it's called, so correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like an English hackamore type thing. Like it's a English bridle, but it doesn't have a bit, and it's like, so if you ride English, you'll know what I'm saying. English bridles have their noseband, their cavesson, and it's like the cavesson, and then there's a little ring on the side, and the reins hooked to that, and then it goes underneath too. So it's like a full bridle, but it doesn't have the bit, and it just hooks to the cavesson. So it's like weird. And I mean, I really want one. I would really want one, but I don't really ride any of my horses that much with that kind of thing, I guess. But I think it'd be really cool to have one. I'd want one to soften my horses up. And I do a lot of that. I do a lot of softening my horses back up, just getting them back to where I want them to be if they ever get hard-mouthed or anything, like from other people riding them, if I ever let other people ride them. When I'm on vacation or something and I come back and they have harder mouths, I tend to ride them in softer things, so they're starting to soften it up again for me. And yeah, that's about it. I actually looked some stuff up just to back me up a little bit, because I know a lot of you are like, no, that's not right, that's not right. So a lot of people are saying about Hackamores and Bosals, this person said any bit or Hackamore is as hard as the hands that use it. So like I said, it's all about how much you use it, where like Bosals are actually for more moving, like it's like pressure and then it goes away, pressure and then it goes away, like when you're touching it. And of course, the big thing is, if your horse is content with what you have, don't ruin it. Like, if you feel like your horse is getting away from you a little bit, maybe you could take the next step up, talk to your trainer, blah, blah, blah. Read about it, you know, what's the next step up from this bit, what's the next step up from a snaffle to another one-handed bit, or from an English snaffle. Like, there's English snaffles with ports in them too. So it's all about just stepping up and doing your research. You don't want to jump too high if your horse, like, only get what your horse needs. Like, if your horse doesn't need a super harsh bit, don't get a super harsh bit. If your horse needs a harsher bit, make sure you get one, but also remember, once you have that harsher bit, you won't need to use it as much. So you just have to keep all that in mind. And this is, yeah, that's this video. And knowing my luck, I'm going to be sitting here in my room for a really long time. So I will probably make another video about something else that I think about. And I'm uploading them all tonight. Hopefully they take forever. But I will talk to you guys later. See ya!